All right, guys, I am really excited to actually be leading this training. I was nervous this whole month because I obviously have never led a training before. So, coming up with content was a little bit difficult because I didn't really know what to expect. But Lynn's is amazing. And I reached out to her today and I was like, listen, how do you create content, where you feel like you can impact a lot of people? And she gave me the best advice. So I'm so excited to deliver this message to you guys tonight. And I hope that it resonates with one person or everyone or whatever. So we'll kind of jump right in. So basically, this is going to be about what's stopping you. So, what are those fears where you feel like it's there's something that's blocking you from taking that next step forward? Is it, the voice inside your head, right? So, we always hear Em and Linz and Britt and Katie talking about that stupid chatty Kathy in your head that just goes on and on, right? Telling you can't do it, telling you that, someone's going to judge you, right? We're all human. We don't want to be judged, right? Are we going to be rejected? I personally hate rejection. I have OCD. I like to do things perfect. So I'm a perfectionist. I don't want to disappoint anybody. So that's something I've really had to constantly work through to basically get to where I am now and to keep pushing forward. So I had actually reached out to some of my girls this morning. Well, not this morning, it was this evening, this afternoon, asking kind of what is something that has been holding them back from, reaching their biggest goal, right? So we all have a huge goal at the end of this, right? Well, hopefully we have a huge goal. Think big. If your dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough, right? So Linz teaches us, and it's so true. And the common denominator here was really, basically people afraid that you're not going to touch anyone's lives, right? That people don't want to hear your story, that that you're not going to be able to connect to anyone, right? We're human, and we can feel like that because it's our story. And for me personally, that's actually something that I've had to conquer. And I've had to get past the judgment, and it's kind of been this whole whirlwind of everything. So I want to start with the judgment. I have really had to work through this actually at my corporate job, so my last day is actually tomorrow, and I'm so excited. It gets me so emotional. I'm excited to be able to stay home with my babies. But I would, ever since I started this business 8 months ago, I've been at my corporate job for 3 years, and there was always this constant thought of, what are they going to think of me? Are they going to think that I'm going to quit right now? Are they going to think that I'm stupid? Are they going to think that, whatever, right? And lo and behold, I had the comments every single day. I would go into work and I had to listen to the comments from my managers, from my coworkers. And it was stuff like, and I know I have one of my girls on here who's actually my best friend. I can see you right there, and she knows what I'm talking about. We would go into work and it's, oh, if you can sell that sticker, I work at a car dealership. You can sell cars for me. That's that sticker does nothing, like that, blah, blah, blah. Hurtful things, right? Like stuff where it's like, I take this so seriously. And for someone who I thought supported me for 3 years at my corporate job, is going to say these comments to me, like, how am I going to handle this? Right? I had to take a step back and I had to think, how am I going to handle this? Because if I and this wasn't just, a voice in my head, these are real people who are actually saying things to my face, right? How am I going to handle this? And I can let this stop me, right? I can stop what I'm doing because I'm so worried about what everyone thinks, right? Or I can move past it, right? And I have this visual image that I have learned to utilize, like when somebody says something to me and it didn't come right away, but I had heard somebody say this one time, and Um, it's funny. I think it was someone who actually worked there, who doesn't work there anymore, talking about just let the bat shit just roll off your shoulder. Excuse my language, right? If somebody comes at you with something ridiculous that you know could affect you, like physically, like look at it and let it roll off your shoulder. Like, we're done, right? Let it move on. We're going to move forward. And so that's something that I've literally done. And I've said, you don't understand, it's fine. Like, yeah, this patch, this works for me. I don't drink coffee anymore, and this has really helped my family. And that's it, right? Moving on. I don't need to try to convince anyone. We're not in the market to convince anybody, right? We know what works for us. And that's something that I've really just stayed consistent with. That's helped me overcome that. So, and that's just in-person stuff, right? Like, we know what this has done for us. And if you're going to, you can't, it's going to tear you down. It's toxic. If you're going to let what people are saying to you, about you, or thinking, right? So half the time, no one's even thinking anything. And it's, you're on social media, maybe you just do this at home and you're not really around people. Especially the ones that really care about you aren't going to be, talking like this about you or to you, right? But that's just sort of basically something that I've personally had to overcome. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about your story, right? Telling your story. So, as far as having those invalid thoughts, right? That someone doesn't want to hear your story. Couldn't be further from the truth, right? We're so nervous that if we get on there and we're vulnerable, someone's going to judge us or someone's going to not want to hear what we have to say. And it's not true, right? It's not true. And a lot of times I feel like that's based off of the likes, right? Like, oh my gosh, did this person like it? Or how many likes did I get today? Or man, that wasn't really a popular post, or, whatever. If you're telling your story and if you're being vulnerable, it doesn't matter how many likes you have. I don't care if I have no likes, right? It doesn't mean that people can't see my posts. It doesn't mean that people aren't watching. I would say that when I first entered the business, and because I've been doing network marketing since 2014. Okay, I've only been with this company for 8 months, but I've been through a couple of companies before. And I will say I was way more self-conscious. I was way more about the likes. I would go in there and I'd be like, who's liking this? Who's liking this? Whatever. But it's not about that, right? It's about getting your story out there and someone's going to see it. For instance, I can't tell you how many times I've literally had somebody come in my inbox after, whatever post it was, and whether they're a potential now, okay, or whether they're actually a promoter, but someone who's gotten in my inbox and said, hey, I've been watching you since day one. I've been scared to reach out. I was skeptical at first. I feel like I really connect with your story. I love the way that you market yourself. You don't seem like you're, I'm glad you don't cold message, whatever it is, right? I know that I reached somebody because they had the balls to come to me and tell me that, right? And so that right there, they've never liked my post, right? That's happened so many times. I can't tell you how many times that's happened where someone's gotten my inbox and they're like, you know what? I've never, I've never interacted with you. I don't think I've ever met you or whatever, but I really like your content and I really relate with you. Who's going to tell your story? It's only going to be you, right? And personally, I can sit here and I can make so many excuses for myself why I feel like somebody doesn't care, right? Doesn't care about what I have to say. But for me personally, so my last day of my corporate job is tomorrow. And that's something that I've really worked towards, and that's always been our vision. And while I'm so grateful for the corporate job that I've had, right? I am so grateful. Every single thing that I've had to endure to get to where I am, I'm thankful for, I'm grateful for. And I just kind of sit back and I think, man, even though I'm so grateful for that, I wasn't like fully happy there, right? But I really, I can sit here and I can think, how many other people are out there that are in the same position that I am, right? And they're not going to know that until I put that out there. So I'm not going out there and I'm saying, hey, quit your job, come do what I do. No, not everyone's going to want to do this, and it's fine. It's not for everybody, right? It's something that no one's going to know about the opportunity unless you put it out there. So tell your story. Talk about you, talk about what you're going through, be vulnerable. And that's as far as that's concerned with telling your story. Don't be scared to. I have a lot of friends who are, for instance, single moms, right? How many single moms are out there probably struggling with multiple jobs to put dinner on the table, right, for their kids? How this can impact so many people. If you're one of those, like, tell your story, right? Another thing that I had heard was a fear about being in an MLM. And that's also, something that I've had to overcome. And I've been with 2 other companies besides this, and I used to be so embarrassed, and I hate saying it, but again, this is part of my story. I used to be so embarrassed to talk about those other companies that I was with. Just because, like, oh, I didn't want to be looked at as the girl who hopped around and was with 2 other companies. Like, how are they going to trust me? Why should they trust me if I'm hopping around? Like, no, I'm so glad I was with those companies because I've learned so much, and I know that this is my home now. And I know several other people who have struggled with that. And if you have people who are, have that mentality of MLM is a scam, or pyramid scheme, or whatever the heck they, say about this. That's something I was hearing at work. I was constantly hearing people be like, you're going to quit your job and you're going to do that. Like, that hurts my heart, first of all, because it's something that I know I'm called to do. But first of all, you know what I think is a pyramid scheme? I think a pyramid scheme is the freaking boss that I work for. I'm, people that are working there are selling cars to pay their bills. Like, what is the difference here, right? Except for I have time freedom, I have financial freedom, and I don't have to work for anybody. So it's just one of those things where you just have to get past that. And you have to remind yourself that, why are you here? Why did you decide to join this company? Don't let the other thoughts get in your head. Don't, let other people's opinions get under your skin, because it's so toxic. And I can't think, for lack of a better analogy, it's literally like a parasite that, like, is going to eat you alive, right? If you let those thoughts get under your skin, like, you're done for. You have to work through those, whether it's do your self-development, right? If I'm feeling in a funk, I'm getting on a team training, right? We have amazing leaders. We have Linz, we have Em, we've got Katie, who are constantly pouring into us. I mean, we have the leadership right at our fingertips at all times. And it's not just some, dinky, you need to be meeting this quota, this is something that you should be doing. Like, no, they want us to lead. And we're getting such good advice, and just the way that they pour into us is awesome. So if you feel in a funk, I highly recommend, plugging into team trainings and applying that to your business, because I can't tell you how much that's helped me and the difference that we have here versus other companies. Our team, especially this tribe, is strong, right? We are constantly uplifting each other. When I was in other companies, like, there is not training like this. I have been there, right? It's probably why I had such a skewed, mentality of leadership, because I didn't know what it looked like. I mean, really get yourself plugged in, and, all of these thoughts, just let them roll off your back. Like I said, I'm looking at my notes because I kind of go off on a rant. Let's see. Okay. One other thing, hold on. I'm going to drink some water. It's going to get awkward. You're welcome. Nobody likes to drink water on Zooms. Like, I'm sorry. You could probably hear me gulp. It's like one of those really weird things where, like, they're watching me drink water. Anyways, it's fine. So what I was going to say, as far as just along the lines of telling your story, like, I just don't want you to forget, like, we're here to impact lives. And we're like, for me personally, I had to, and this goes along lines of telling your story, right? Like, how are you going to impact anybody if you're not putting your story out there? And when I first joined Lavelle, I'm going to be straight up honest. Like, I was not in it to impact lives. Okay. I am just being honest. Like, I was in it because I saw the money. Like, okay, I'm putting it out there. But this is the point of me telling you this. Like, I had to sit there and I had to say, how am I going to get anywhere if that's my mindset? Right? I'm not going to chase after the money. Like, how am I going to actually care about people? How am I going to learn how to do that if I'm chasing after that sale, right? If I'm in people's inbox and I'm like, "Hey, did you read my last message?" or whatever it is. I don't do that, but I highly discourage that. But you know, we're here to care about people, and we're here to care about the people that we are touching as far as customers, right? We know that these products work, okay? And I had a girl, I have a girl on my team who said to me today, she goes, "You know what? I'm nervous that people are not going to feel the way that I feel on these products." Like, that's one of her fears, right? And I get that, because I remember thinking that. I remember being scared when my customer got their package. I didn't even want to follow up with them because I was nervous. I knew how it made me feel, but what if it didn't make that person feel this way or whatever? First of all, let me just tell you, I've never had someone come at me where they're like, "I hate these products," right? It's either user error, they don't want to drink water or whatever, right? But we know these products work. That's why you guys are on this right now, because you joined because these products work for you. We bring it back to the basics. So as far as impacting customers, right? We want to help them, right? We want to help them feel better. That's why we did this. And our team, right? Like, I'm in it personally. I'm going through such a huge growth right now as far as quitting my job. It's a huge transition. I'm not good with transitions. And, you know, I want to help others who are in my position. So again, starting from the I'm chasing after money, I had to take a step back and I had to say, what's going on in here, right? What's going on in here that's making me in this mindset? Why am I not working on myself? Do I need to be in the Bible? I'm a believer. So do I need to be in the Bible? Do I need to be listening to podcasts? What do I need to be doing to work on myself where I'm going to change my mindset and not be chasing after that sale? How is chasing after a sale going to impact anybody's life? Nobody, right? And you know what? That's not even gonna help me grow. That's not gonna help me grow a team. That's not gonna help me be a leader. Like, I had to take a step back and I had to work on myself. And that's really my biggest thing. But I am not watching the chat at all. So I'm opening it up now. I don't know if there's any like questions or whatever, but I'm gonna close that chat again. I don't even know how to do it. Close. Okay. So anyways, what else I mean, it's only been 20 minutes, but I feel like I, got across what I wanted to talk about. And hopefully you guys got something from that. It was, again, really hard to create some content, but that was kind of what was on my heart after talking to some of my girls. And yeah, so that is it. There's my guns. Lindsay, what do I do now?
I was waiting for her to call me back in and be like, Linz,
Help.
SOS. I told you I'm always here for the SOS.
I know. Woo, help.
I just want to say thank you so much. I know, for anybody who does not know, the other Lindsay, when I said in the chat, she is my babe who hates new the most, I truly mean it. Any single time I say, we'll try this, her response is, okay, well, that makes me uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it, but like, it's new or it's different. So why? You know what I mean? And those are the things that she says. And you know what? She is a 12K leader. But more than that, like, not struggling to maintain 12K. She is a true 12K leader where she has maintained every single month since being there authentically and organically. Not because she is convincing people to buy, not because she is in people's inboxes, not because she came into this guns blazing. Because when I tell y'all, she wanted to be a trial customer and then she ghosted me. And then she wanted to order the products, and then she ghosted me. And then she wanted to order the products again, and her response to me was, okay, so I know I didn't respond back to you the last time, but I'm ready this time. And then she ghosted me. So we're on 3 times now. And then the 4th time she was like, okay, there's this free it was like a free shipping weekend. And she was
Oh
like,
my God.
you remember? And she was like, you were like, okay, this is when I need to do it, because that free ship, like that shipping, that extra $10 to $15, that is what we need. Like, I can convince my husband that I can try one more thing, but I don't want to promote it. Don't ask me. And I go, girlfriend, I was never going to ask you to promote it. I can't even get you to commit to tell me your email address. I was like, trust me, we're on the same page. And she was like, I'm not promoting. I don't want to promote. I never want to promote. I never will join another company, but I'm down to try products because I need the energy. And I was like, perfect. She got the products. I shit y'all not even a week into it, this girl says, how do I become a promoter? I'm like, oh, Lord help me. Y'all have those Lord help me moments. Well, I'm telling you, she was my Lord help me moment that turned into something amazing, because the growth that she has had, I think my biggest thing of her journey, that why I wanted her to come on and talk to everybody, or talk to anybody that was wanting to listen, is the fact that she started out so against it because she was so afraid of what other people were going to think. Even those first 2 weeks, it was like pulling teeth trying to get her to do things and trying to explain things, because it was so in her head that other people were going to think things. Y'all, tomorrow she comes home to her babies full time. Think about that. I have chills like saying that, but like literally 8 months ago, well, probably 9 months ago, because this all happened, the ghosting, within like a month or so of each other. But think about it. 8 months ago, she tried the products because she just wanted to try the products, never wanted to be a promoter. And look at her now. She's coming home to her babies full time, and she gets to be with them full time. Think about it. When all of you guys ask me, and you always say, oh, why can't I enroll promoters? Why can't I enroll promoters? Everyone wants to be a customer. Y'all, I was in like holding my breath when she said she wanted to be a promoter, saying like, this is going to give me a run. This one's going to give me a run for my money.
Yeah.
I was like, this one's going to make me work for it. But she didn't want to be a promoter. So when you sit and you say, I can only get customers, or people only want to get customers, you know how I always say, love people where they're at in their business. Love people where they want to enter this business. If they want to use the products for 3 months, and then randomly the one day they're like, you know what, I want to be a promoter, watch that girl run. Watch that girl hit ranks, watch that girl do all of these things, and have a front row seat, because the thing is, you loved her where she was at. I could have easily that same day been like, you know what, you can get your promoter pack for the same price and free shipping. Let's get you going, and done it. And she would have been like, okay, maybe. I set up her account. I could have easily set it up as a promoter and been like, you know what, you're so good at this. I've watched you for years try and sell makeup, but like, you can do this. You can do this, right? She wasn't ready. Tomorrow she comes home full time. Think about that. Love people where they're at, because they are going to take themselves where they need to be along their journey, and you're going to have a front row seat to it. So thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for being vulnerable, because y'all don't know how hard this was to get her on here.
So hard.
But when I say that she will be doing more in the future, she will be doing more in the future.
Here we go.
Because y'all know me, I love to make y'all uncomfortable.
Yes.
Because growth is coming for every single one of you guys. And if doing a training makes you uncomfortable, do a training. If something makes you uncomfortable, do it. Because who knows where you'll be in 8 months from now. Look at where Linz is. So thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your heart, for getting vulnerable, for being uncomfortable, for trying something new. I am so proud of you, and our entire tribe is so thankful for you, and we appreciate you. So have a great last day of work tomorrow, and then you officially come home to your babies and to be a full-time traveler.
That's right.
Bye, guys. Good night.
Bye.